Fucking hell, that. Oh!
Another day, another coffee, not quite the morning. It is 7 p.m. However, I was up earlier today. I was up at like 1 p.m.-ish. The reason I didn't film the coffee segment this morning, the reason I didn't even have a coffee, was because we had builders here fixing the bathroom floor. And they came to measure the window and all this sort of stuff, and it was just loud as fuck. Like, it was just drilling, banging, and so like I tried to film, and I played it back, and you just couldn't hear anything. It was just like, it was just drowned out. And so look at this shit. If we take a look at what they've been doing, the window, they smashed it a bit more for some reason, but we're obviously having like the floor and shit redone. In May, so yeah, it's about that time.
What's the time, bud?
Good coffee, time to share some life notes. Jamie, can you pull that up for me, Jamie?
Sometimes I write it down.
Oh, I seen a fucking sick suggestion, but I don't know where I seen it. I think it was on one of the comments on one of my YouTube videos.
Or
Someone said I should like react to something and give my opinion and thoughts on it.
ooh.
So like, let's just say like I watch like a E-Man Gadzi video like while I'm fucking drinking my coffee, pop the reaction up on the screen, like the E-Man clip, and then give my thoughts on it.
Yeah, that's a pretty
Like,
solid.
react to like some controversial
What you should
shit.
do then is ask people what you should react to.
Yeah, exactly, that's what I mean. Dylan reacts.
Dylan reacts on Roar.
Scroll through all my fucking life notes, there's plenty of them. Let's have a look. What insight do we have today? What do I want to discuss? What do I want to discuss? One sec, let me just text this person back.
Oh, we'll be back.
This is a good little quote. If you've read this book, you'll know what the quote is. But this is in my life notes. The war is won or lost far before the war has begun. What does that mean? It means a couple things, really. Mainly, that phrase is not only mindset, because you can lose the war if you like before you even start the war if your mind's not right yet, but mainly preparation and planning and strategy. That's like what it's mainly focused around. So like preparation is key, right? So what I wrote here is success in any endeavor requires thorough preparation. This involves understanding your own strengths and weaknesses as well as those of your opponent. This is actually why we did a wealth dynamics test. If you have a team, I'd recommend getting everyone to do a wealth dynamics test. Pretty much what it does is it's going to tell you like every person on your team's strength and weakness. So like my strengths are like coming up with big ideas and like acquiring a team to be able to create those big ideas and like really like being the person that pushes the company forward and leading. But I'm not so great at like finishing tasks, and I'm not so great at like numbers, systems, shit like that. Like that stuff pisses me off. Like being in sheets and figuring out all the data. And I'm not a numbers guy at all. Like I've never enjoyed that shit. And so like my head just breaks. Whereas like Jack's like almost like the complete opposite.
I'm a bit of both.
Adam's kind of a hybrid. Dean's kind of similar to me.
Bit of a creative, but I can also do the systems at the same time.
Yeah. So
I
like
would say I'm more, yeah.
my archetype, like the comparison, like my archetype is more of like a Richard Branson, Steve Jobs kind of archetype, um, and that's obviously like you would need to know this. It goes a lot more in depth. Read Millionaire Master Plan and do the wealth dynamics test. I suggest you to do it in that book by Roger Hamilton, and you'll like it's a lot. I could speak about it for hours. It's very in depth. Maybe I'll make a part on wealth dynamics. Probably one of the most important things you can actually do and learn. I'm still learning it myself, so I'm not an expert, and I need to spend more time on it because I've been neglecting it a bit. Wealth dynamics super insightful. Actually, an entrepreneur I met in the Great British Entrepreneur Awards that does about 50 million a year, 100 million a year revenue with his company told me to study wealth dynamics. So that's how I found out about it. And when I did, I was like, oh, I understand now why he said to do this. It's really good. It explains, like, it pretty much gives you a bulletproof strategy of how to hit your goals and become wealthy, depending on the wealth level you're currently at. And so, like, it's really solid for those side of things. Also, another like weakness of mine is thinking it's going to take less time than what it actually does. So, for example, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to do X, Y, Z in the next week or in the next day. In reality, it's probably going to take 3 weeks, but I think it's accomplishable in like 3 to 5 days. And sometimes I could do it, but I expect other people to hold the same standard. And when that doesn't happen, then I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Why can you not do it when I? Do you know what I mean? So that's another thing. It's good to be conscious of that. But back to the point of the art of war. The war is won or lost far before the war has begun. That is the importance of strategy, planning, preparation, right? So success in any endeavor requires thorough preparation. This involves understanding your own strengths and weaknesses, like we just talked about, but also as well as those of your opponent. In business, for example, this might mean conducting market research and understanding your competition before launching a product or service. Strategy over strength is also very important. So sometimes having a superior strategy is more important than having more power or resources. This often seen in sports where the team has, I wrote this wrong, where a team with less skill might defeat a stronger opponent through better tactics. And I've also got that another key part of that is understanding the environment, right? So knowledge of the environment and adapting to it is crucial. So this could mean understanding the market condition in business or in the physical terrain if you was actually looking at it from a war context like the military, right? And then the big one is obviously that mindset, that mental readiness, right? Mental preparedness and morale are as important as physical resources in any challenging situation, whether in a personal or professional context. Being mentally prepared for the challenges ahead can be a decisive factor. Like I said, what rings the bell for me there on that phrase the most, the war is won or lost far before the war has begun. That instantly like raises that mindset for me. Like, if you are going to go into a situation where you're already defeated and you're already thinking you're going to lose, then guess what? You've already lost. Whereas if you go into it knowing you've already won, time just hasn't caught up yet, then you've already won, right? And then the last point I've got is about avoiding conflict, which is like the concept of winning without actually fighting. So if you can outmaneuver your competition or resolve conflict through diplomacy, it's often a better outcome than direct confrontation, right? So the art of war and that quote doesn't necessarily mean going for everyone's neck. It means getting there the smartest, strategic, best way possible. And that's how you win the war, right? The war is won or lost far before the war has begun. So that's a little solid quote there, and that's in my life notes. Tons of life notes to get through, absolutely tons. And so, yeah, we'll keep doing this. I'm going to enjoy my coffee, jump on a call with my client success manager and growth team, and then take back-to-back calls. So I'll record some of the calls, and you guys can have a look into what it's like to take those types of calls. Yo. How are we? How are we? Good.
How are you?
Phenomenal. Tired, but I'm good.
Dylan, your house looks sick, mate.
Thanks.
You happy?
Yeah, it's sick. It's just nice. It's just nice having like a space that's like yours. I don't know. It's just like more clarity. You know what I mean?
I'm sure. It must be nice. I've also finally got my own space.
Oh, sick.
Right on the beach in Cape Town, right on the beach. I get way more done. I get to do my mindful flipping mornings. I
Yeah,
have sauna
facts.
at 10 p.m. You know, there's things that you want to do to be the best version of yourself that you can't do when you're sitting on the couch watching TV, eating chocolates at 10 p.m. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. Yeah, no, I agree. It's crazy just how even like one person can distract like everything. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, so that's why I just wanted, especially during this period of like, I've got a lot going on. I just want to make sure that my mind is in the productivity mode as much as possible. Dylan?
Your internet froze.
No, do you know what happened? Do you know what country I live in? Do you know what country?
What happened?
Blackout.
Really?
Blackout. South Africa. We have a schedule in South Africa where they cut the electricity off for your region. And 2 hours, 4 hours per day, they cut your electricity because we don't have enough electricity for our country.
Serious?
Dylan, I'm so glad you got to experience that.
That's
because it happens 4 times a day between 6 and 8, then 12 and 2, then 6
So what do you
and
do?
8.
How is it working now? Like, what do you do? What are we gonna do instead?
Everyone who has money,
As a generator.
everyone who has money has a generator, a backup Wi-Fi, an inverter.
That's fucking crazy.
How mad? Like, what the fuck? Where am I living? Like, where the fuck am I living?
That's insane. As we got rid of a couple of people at the start of the year, like we got rid of Alan, and we got rid of a couple other people, just because like we just didn't want to bring them into 2024 because they just wasn't. They're not trying to go and win the Super Bowl or make the next Apple, so we're just like, okay, cool, let's just get rid of them. So that's what we did. But I want to get you more involved with like a lot of the stuff I do on a day-to-day basis, but then I also don't want to be like, the issue is a lot of my calls are like late, and I think they'd be super valuable for you to be on, especially for like not only your role in the company, but also for like your actual personal brand stuff. But like my calls are all just really weird, random times. Like I've noticed. But yeah, they're all late. And I don't want to be like, oh, Jen, do you want to jump on this call at like 8 p.m. and you're like tucked up in bed and you feel like you have to get on the call. So I'm just like, oh, I'll just leave it. Yeah.
No, so Dylan, what I would like is in the beginning when we were initially doing our training, you would say optional, join this call.
Yeah.
Because for example, I'd much rather shadow your call than randomly watch a YouTube video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it's right before bed, even if it's 10 o'clock at night and it's right before bed, I'd rather spend that time doing that. So if you could maybe just give me the option.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like a compulsory thing.
So what I'll do is you'll just see it appear on your Google Calendar then from now on. Because I'll just invite you to the calendar, like calls. So like, for example... Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to say, how will I know then when I should be on the call for sure or not?
Because if you should be on the call for sure, I'll message you and say like...
Okay.
But
Thank you.
Yeah. What... I'll use the...
Really? Dylan, there's some...
Say again?
Sorry, it's my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you're lagging.
So you start... So, basically, there's some weeks where I am super busy with calls because I happened to onboard certain people, like 5 in a week. So then the check-in calls are all in the next week. And then 30 days later, their clarity calls are all in the same week. So I tend to have super busy weeks. But for example, this past week has been very quiet. And I'm sure like that's fine with you, but I want to feel more useful to you. So I can grow in your team. You know what I mean? I want to feel like essential.
Yeah.
So what can I do to help you more in the week?
I think one thing actually has just come to mind that I think I need to like almost give you good clarity on is how to conduct like a pre-mortem with students. I think that could be like super valuable. because that could be something you do. Like if like this is probably like, let's just say a student's really struggling with stuff. A lot of the time, a pre-mortem can solve their issues, and so like if you like sort of learn how to conduct a call where you do a pre-mortem with a student, I think that would probably be like one of the most valuable things ever. Pretty much like you just like, let's just say there's a student that's just for some reason can't get any results, or maybe is stuck in a certain place. You would literally just jump on a call with them, and just like conduct a pre-mortem where you're almost doing like a mini business audit. So you're asking them questions about like what they're currently doing at each aspect of the business, like what are they doing for client acquisition, what are they doing for traffic generation, and then what's their goals. So right, okay, I'm making 5K a month, I want to be making 50K a month in the next 6 months. Okay, that's cool. How are we actually going to get to 50K a month, and what would you have to do day in, day out that would make it unreasonable for you to not hit 50K a month? And then you come up with a list of things together. So it's like, right, client acquisition, this is going to be an issue. If this is like, let's just say to get to 50K a month, we're going to pretty much guarantee failure. So if we was to guarantee failure, then let's just say client acquisition, we can't sign any clients, right? That would guarantee failure. We're not going to hit 50K a month if we can't sign any clients. So how do we actually stop that? Then you list all the things that would stop that. Cold outreach, getting affiliates, doing strategic partnerships, running paid ads. And then these are all the things that you'd have to do day in, day out. So you're going to have to at least do 100 outreaches every single day. Optimize your profile, because that's one of the biggest things. So like you would like almost break down a business and then like give them like the play to go away with, and they're probably going to find that like extremely valuable if that's one of like their first calls on the program. Like after the clarity, after the like the onboarding call with you, like if you was to do like that on a checking call or like a clarity call where you,
yeah, that would probably be best, because onboarding call we need for explanations.
Yeah.
That would be for 3 days in.
Yeah, exactly.
So the checkup is they've had a moment to process what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And then we want to dive into it.
Yeah.
3 days later, have you stuck to it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much just coming up with a list of things that would make it unreasonable for them to not hit their goal. And like you also want to, like if someone's brand new and they've never done the business and they're like, I want to make 100K a month in the next 3 months, you also need to set their expectations with like the amount of stuff you'd have to do for that to happen is going to be like, you're probably going to overwhelm yourself and not even get to 10K a month. So like, let's like actually set like a goal that you can hit, and then like we can go from there, and let's like do a, like, so if they've never done it before, it would be a different style of pre-mortem where it's more like, you know, you need like the things you'd have to do on a daily basis. So you're gonna have to go through the program at least twice. You're gonna have to like it'd be conducted slightly differently depending on obviously where they're at. And then obviously if there's stuff when you are conducting a pre-mortem that you do or you don't understand, then that's when you could be like, you know, after this call, I'll get with Dylan and we will put together like the rest of the plan for you and send it over. But yeah, again, I'm happy to like, I can conduct a pre-mortem with you if you want, so then you know more like how to do it.
What I think we should do is, if you have a moment next week, and I'm sorry, I didn't want to take up a lot of your time with this call, but if you do have a moment next week, let's conduct a pre-mortem. I am the student.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Conduct it, write up a document that I'm going to then take as a framework going forward. We'll record the call and I'll practice it. But I'm a quick learner, but I like to have proper frameworks to follow.
So I've now got a check-in call with one of our clients on the partnership program, because one of the biggest things with outreach these days is going to be the profile itself, like how optimized the profile is. When you're doing outreach, how long have you been doing it for? And then how many outreaches have you been doing? And have you been tracking it? So like, have you been setting yourselves like, right, today we need to do 100 outreaches, then tomorrow we'll do another 100 outreaches plus 60 follow-ups? Like, how does that look?
So in terms of outreach, we've only been doing it for around like a week.
Okay.
We haven't set like a goal of, well, we sent around like 10 DMs in the morning, 10 DMs at night. We've only been doing it on Instagram. In terms of following up, we haven't really been following up that much, and set like a goal of who we want to follow up on and how many DMs we want to send to them. Yeah,
okay, got it. Right, so let me share something with you guys. couple things. Right, so there's a couple things I'll go over here. So this is what, like, so we hire people that like to do outreach and stuff for us, right? And this is like the KPIs that we set for them. So we're aiming for 100 new outreaches every single day. So like you really have to up the amount that you're doing, just because it changes a lot. So like 100 new outreaches per day. So you could do 50 on one account, 50 on another account. You could do, if you've got two accounts, which obviously you guys both have two accounts, you both have an account each, then you could do 25 in the morning, 25 in the night, 25 in the morning, 25 in the night. That's 100 per day, right? Then follow-ups is the key part. So this is where everyone misses out on. Everyone just continues to do new outreach, but the follow-ups is actually where you get the majority of responses. And so like missing follow-ups is going to be crucial. So let me create something for you guys, and I would use this to track. I'm going to create this specifically for you guys and show you how to just optimize this entire process. Because cold outbound can work, but you need to track and you need to hit the KPIs for it to work. And also you need some optimized profiles, which I'll take a look at now and explain some stuff that you could do. If you can just shoot me the links to your profile. Harry, Carlos, I think I already got you, but if you can shoot them in the Zoom chat, I'll give you some stuff on there now. But we'll just crack through this for the. You guys good to stick with me for the next like hour?
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, sick. Okay, cool. Right, so. Let me, could you drop like both your emails as well, just so I can give you access to this?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat now. Yes,
make a copy. Right, sick. Right, so this is what I would use from now on, right? So this is all automated, this part, right? So all you need to know how to use is this bit here, right? Now, when you're doing outreach, this is the best way to actually get responses. So like, let's just say you've been doing outreach for a week. Once you've done outreach for a week using this particular method and you've tracked, that's when you're going to actually start to see some progress. So what I need you guys to do in here is put you might not have all of these categories. So we'll go through it and change it for you guys now. But all you need to do is put the name of the person you've outreached. So let's just say, Melissa, wherever, if your full name's on your profile, link to her Instagram profile, email address if you got her, maybe she's left her in your profile, great. And then just put the platform. So mainly going to be Instagram. Lead type is probably going to be cold outbound because that's what you're doing is cold outbound. Any notes, if you've had a quality conversation with her, what the status is. So, has she replied yet? If there's no reply, then obviously you put no reply, right? When did you initiate it? So for example, the date. So like if you message her today, 18th of January, 2024, then have you engaged with her a second time? Have you requested a booking link yet? Have you booked the call yet? Has she consumed any type of asset? So what that means is, for example, right? And you can link the asset you. Then obviously the qualified category, when you're speaking to them, maybe it's not an ideal client. Maybe she's already making 500 grand a month. She doesn't need you. And then years where you do the follow-up. So this is where you're going to actually track the amount of follow-ups you do. And we usually do 10 follow-ups. And on the 10th time, we usually say, right, she's just not interested. So we're just going to leave it there. So like you want to make sure you're tracking these follow-ups and dating when you're following up, right? So every single day, you want to come in here and you want to track everyone that you're reaching out to with their profile links, right? The reason is a tedious thing to do, but the reason you want to do it is just so you can actually track and adopt and change so you know what's working, right? So like that's the first thing. You guys got access to this. What that's then also going to do is when you put names in here and you fill these out, this is then going to automatically change, right? So this will automatically update, and then you can go to like the dates, for example, and you can look at maybe once you've done a month of tracking, you could be like, right, let's have a look what happened in January, start date, end date, and then all of this is going to auto-populate based on the data that you've got, right? So you can see how many calls you've had booked, how many assets consumed, how many booking links you've requested, how many quality conversations you've had, and all that side of things, right? Now, in terms of the cash collected and stuff, you can ignore that because the reason we've got that in here at the moment is because we just randomly test a bunch of different things. Like sometimes we'll charge a model, for example, 1.5K up front. So you can obviously ignore this section. But the main things you want to be tracking is like how many conversations you've initiated. So over that month, you should have initiated probably 3,000 conversations, like DMs sent. How many of them actually engaged? How many quality conversations have you had? Booking requested, assets consumed, calls booked, follow-ups, how many unqualified, and then how many actually closed, right? So these are going to be the only metrics that you really need to track. Now, that's the first thing. Now, in terms of the actual outreach process, what have you guys been doing? Like, how have you been finding the models, and what has been your first message?
So, we took Stephen's advice and we used
blah blah blah, just to get like in conversation with them, and that can work quite well as well. Having an agency page, honestly, pointless these days. Like, it really is pointless. There's just too many agency pages. But personal brand, and then in terms of like how you actually want to approach conversations, we follow this framework called the 3-step conversational flow, and we used it to literally book 250 meetings in a month before, when we hit outreach hard, like having multiple people doing outreach for us. And this was like the exact framework we followed, and the entire point is, all you're trying to do when it comes to outreach is not trying to book the meeting. You're not trying to sell your service. The biggest issue people make is they try and sell their service, right? So people will instantly go into how good their agency is, or what they offer, or what their services are. Your only goal should be to sell the actual call itself, right? And the full process is provide genuine value. Don't like explain that you're trying to close them for your agency. Like, don't mention any of that shit. Literally, that's all you need to do, is start a genuine conversation with them. Just create some type of context and familiarity. Like, the number one goal with outreach to get responses, like, if you don't get your prospects responding to your first message, then obviously you can't expect them to jump on a call, right? So the biggest issue is people don't get replies. So to get replies, you simply have to make sure that, obviously there's 3 levels of the brain: the reptilian side of the brain, aka the amygdala, right, which is the instinctual and has the sole purpose to keep you away from danger. You have the limbic brain, which is emotional and feeling, which is going to be the driver of your behavior. And then you have the neocortex, which is the rational thinking logic part. Now, with models, getting them into the rational logic part is slightly more difficult than a guy, right? Because they are always usually in their emotional and feeling part, right? So you want the prospect to use their neocortex, which is the rational part of their brain, to converse with you. If they're stuck in their reptilian or limbic brain, you won't be able to get through to them, right? So the first thing you want to do when doing outreach is, and what you're also going to find is, some creators are going to be very direct and some creators are going to be very indirect. And so you need to mirror the way that they're speaking. If a girl's like very direct, then you need to mirror that back. If a girl's very indirect, you need to mirror the conversation, and that's the easiest way to have like a good conversational flow, right? And so like, a good thing to do is, once you have replied to people, everyone you reply to, just go and drop a comment on their post. Obviously, make sure your profile's optimized. Make sure that you have some type of video content to show you're human. Make sure you have those 3 posts I just talked about. And then having engagement on your profiles is also great too, because it's going to create a lot of social proof, and it makes the prospect feel like they can trust you. Now, that's when you want to go into figuring out like where they're at in terms of like the inefficiencies. So what I mean by inefficiencies is like, what are the things that they're doing that could be better? So if she's going to then tell you like, oh yeah, I'm like really struggling with generating traffic right now, or like I'm really struggling with chatting right now, and this is where you can really change the dynamic. So as soon as you find out an inefficiency from a model, that's when you now have all the power to give them a new insight that they didn't know, right? So for example, if she says, oh, I'm really struggling with like chatting, I'm like, I just can't seem to like make any money on the chatting side of things. You could really, there's tons of different ways you could take it, but something that we've been doing that's working really well recently is you're not selling your service, you sell your service on the call, you don't sell your service before the call, right? And so like, the easiest way to frame that, once you've built up that rapport stage, once you've like given them that value, we always just say, never send a booking link before you ask permission to send a booking link. As soon as she says, yeah, you say, awesome, here's my link. Let me know if you can't find the time that works. And then she's going to book the call. And then if they don't book the call, follow up 30 minutes after sending the link. If they haven't booked the call, make sure you're tracking this in the outreach tracker. Follow up. If they still don't reply 24 hours later, follow up 24 hours later. On the Calendly, we have like an email setup sequence, which is in the program. I'll find out which part it's on because I can't remember exactly. I think it's on the cold outbound part, but I show you how to actually set up like an email structure. And what that's going to do is once they book a call, they're going to get like an email after they've booked a call, and it's going to give them some type of value, some type of like actionable tip. Then they're going to get an email like 24 hours before the call, like 6 hours before the call, and 30 minutes before the call. And it's going to be like a case study of a model. So you're really warming them up before they get on that call, and it just makes it way a high, like gives you a way higher likelihood that they're actually going to show up. And so like that's the biggest thing. Like you want to educate the prospect, create authority, and create curiosity, right? So before you try educate or even pitch a call, you need to find a minimum of 2 painful inefficiencies. Sometimes you'll only find one if it's models, but as long as you can find a painful inefficiency that they're dealing with, that's when you can then educate them on that inefficiency and then pitch the call. But the prospect's not going to see the need to jump on a call if you've not give them any value, educated them, or told them you can solve the inefficiency, right? So how do you solve it? Why is it worth solving that way? Who have you helped solve it, and what outcome did they receive? And question the prospect if they've ever heard of this process or thought of using it themselves. So like I said, she says, I'm having issues with chatting. Have you ever thought or considered about? That's how you create that curiosity around it, right? So that's like how you want to think about outreach. Firstly, biggest thing, outreach is not going to work without an optimized profile. So that's the first thing you really need to solve. Like you need to get that optimized profile. Like that's going to be key. And then you want to just really track everything and hit these KPIs. Like on my profile, if I do 100 new outreaches a day, I can usually have 12 to 25 conversations a day, right? Usually send 5 to 10 booking links, and I can usually set 3 meetings a day, 7 meetings per day if you're a superstar, right? So that's like the main thing. Anything else? Because we could jump on a call. We can jump on another, like I'm happy to jump on another call with you guys in another week after you've like implemented all this and see where you're at. And then we can just like go over and we can look at some of your messages and like I can break them down and explain like this is what I would have done, or you did this well, you could have done this better, or blah, blah, blah. So like what I would say is like go away for the next week, really optimize your profiles, do everything I've just said. I'll send you this recording of the call if you want. Then I would go and implement everything and just start hitting outreach hard, hit your KPIs. The only thing I would say is like I wouldn't really worry about the other aspects of the business right now. Like I would just, like I like to solve one problem at a time. So I don't want to really overwhelm me with anything else. Like I would literally just focus on this and just solve one thing at a time. But if there's anything else, you guys, any thoughts, comments, questions, like now's the perfect time to ask. Do that for the next week. We'll jump on a call in another week, like a week today, like same time if that's good for you guys, and
that's fine.
we can just evaluate where you're at and then go from there.
Yeah, sweet. Perfect.
Sick lads. Let's crush it this year, big year. Ho hey. What's good, brother?
How you doing?
How are we? Rocking the eyebrow slit, I see.
Yo, just got a haircut today.
Oh, bro, I need a haircut bad, like really fucking bad.
Honestly, I was the same way. I think I went like 2 months without a haircut.
Yeah, same. I'm too. Bro, I think I might be 3 months without a haircut. Even my beard's like fucked now. I got a haircut booked in for Monday. I was like, yeah, I need to book this in, otherwise I'm never gonna go.
Yeah, I noticed your beard on your Instagram stories. I'm like, damn, that thing's growing nice.
Yeah. I think I might just keep it long, but it just needs to be tidied up a bit.
Gotcha.
Like in a long fit.
How are you liking the new pad?
Oh, it's sick. It's sick. It's so much better. Like I can just get so much more stuff done. It's just like more clarity, isn't it? Like being in your own space. So yeah, it's pretty sick. So what's good with you? What's the move? What's going on with the landing page and stuff? What do you need from my end? Because you said you needed a couple of things that need to be like implemented and changed. I still don't think I've had an email from ClickFunnels support either, by the way.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what's up. It's so weird just because it said that we reached the 100 page capacity, but I archived some stuff.
Yeah.
So now we have like a total of like 95 pages. So I wasn't able to add like an order, like a different order page. But I was just able to add that today. With the landing page, I feel like the only thing we're missing is we're getting a lot of sales from people who've actually bought, you know? So
Makes sense.
I really wanted to test this out with you just because, you know, you have a great product, like you have like a fuck ton of testimonials. Like I feel with your, like with that landing page, since it's a long sales letter, and I've been seeing a lot out there that like a lot of people are starting using that. I can make it like really, really juicy and with all the testimonials and everything. So I feel like we can get a lower cost per person. Like I'm gonna do a split test versus doing that long training versus doing like a 1 minute video like right there, you know, to see, you know, what's, you know, bringing more sales and more and cheaper leads. And then in the sales letter, I do have a part where it says about like your own results. So it talks about the student results and then like about your own results. So if you have a screenshot of like your own results, just in that. But other than that, I feel like everything is good to go. We'll just need someone to help us with just making sure that all the integration, like all the leads and sales goes into, you know, go high level. And then other than that, that's pretty much it. I also mentioned like a bump up order. Nice.
So that's the plan, because I'm gonna talk about some spicy things when it comes to like AI models as well. So
some AI models.
Yeah.
On my Instagram, I saw like a model. I'm just like, dang. Later on, I found out she was an AI model. I was like, oh man, I got tricked.
It's crazy. It's actually crazy. It is.
Yeah, and then I heard like that AI model was like making, I don't know, like $30K a month. Like, dude, it's crazy. Like, not even a real human being, you know? Like,
it's nuts. It's fucked. It's fucked. She's not completely AI. It is an actual girl making the content. She's literally making like 600 grand a month. It's fucking retarded.
I'm seeing this page. It's 36 pages. I definitely got to take some time and take a look at it.
Yeah, that's the launch strategy. I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know if it's actually going to be beneficial for me to send you like the...
Also, you know, just organically just posting on your Instagram, which you're really, really good at that.
Yeah, I'm just going to plan to create a bunch of organic content around there as well. For that entire like 20 days from launch. I've got a copywriter that's going to be doing like emails every single day for the entire 20 days before launch. And just try and get...
Shows off his cards in the very beginning, like Ty Lopez. And then he's literally just like walking around his house. And dude, you have a beautiful home, you know? Pretty big, pretty spacious, you know, take advantage of that and literally just make it as organic as possible with like very few to little edits, you know? Like, for example, that one. Like that one doesn't even, it's weird because it doesn't even have captions, you know? And like it's performing good. I did another one with caption, and that one does perform good, but I don't see like a significant difference. I still recommend captions, but literally just make it as organic as possible.
Yeah, I think that will work. I think they just fit better into those social platforms. Like in Instagram, like as soon as it's like really well set up, and I also think, especially now more than ever, like Instagram, TikTok have almost been like Alex Hormozy-fied, where like it's just all like in your face, motion graphics, captions, like boom, 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 like really insane edits. I think people are almost sick of it, and like they want like those old school stuff back. Because if we're just gonna be running the IG growth funnel for now, I remember Ty Lopez explaining the Here in My Garage video when he said he was printing like 100 grand a day off it.
That is so crazy. Like, I remember when I first, like the first ever social, like the way I got introduced to like this internet marketing world was with Ty Lopez.
Same.
Like his social media marketing agency.
Same. I bought that course. He branded SMMA. Like SMMA wasn't SMMA before Ty Lopez. Like he'd started that term. Yeah, I bought his SMMA course. I waited for Black Friday, bought it for $500. And it came with all these other bonuses as well, like 67 steps, a couple other things that he had, and I was like, yeah, this is so sick. And then I tried starting a social media marketing agency, tried getting a barber as a client, which was just stupid. Didn't work. Failed my first meeting. I was like, this is shit. I don't like this business, and I quit.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't think for me, I started that, and then I never really went out trying to look for a client. Still enjoy doing it.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like a video game, actually, I would say that. I think people that look at stuff as a video game tend to do better. Like, if you look at life as more of a video game, like, I kind of look at a lot of the stuff I do like a video game, like leveling up my character and stuff like that. Like, how can I...
Dude, your life is like Grand Theft Auto, bro. That's what we play.
Oh, Dan Blazarian!
Yeah.
Dan. Fuck, yeah, Dan Blazarian, yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to his podcast with Joe Rogan, and I'm like, damn, he's wild.
Yeah, I don't know, he just doesn't seem that happy, Dan Blazarian.
No, and I think he did say that, like, he did say that in one of his podcasts, like, yeah, it's like all the amount of women and money in the world, then like that still doesn't really buy like all that happiness. Yeah. I think I've seen that podcast with him on Joe Rogan, and I think I can remember him saying about like there's only like he's always looking for that like next adrenaline rush, but it never like he's done everything at this point to where it's just normal. Yeah.
That's why I think like it's like when I think you like almost have those experiences more like sparsely, so like, but if I was to make this every day, it would just get normal and it wouldn't feel like this anymore, and this is the feeling that I like, so I would rather just do them once, twice a year, because it's just more fun that way, and it's like, that's how I think, like, so yeah, it's interesting. Definitely.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I don't think you can almost get like happiness and joy from like external things. I think you've just got to be like happy within yourself, right? Like just, I think like success is like, as long as you're like working towards something you want to work towards every day, like you've actually got a goal that you're pursuing. I think that's success. Like actually having a goal that you're pursuing, rather than like a number in the bank or living a crazy life or any of that shit that's like external.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's actually like just same thing as just like having purpose, you know, just always trying to reach that goal, you know, like having a goal. And yeah, I agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah, I think patience is the one thing that everyone overlooks as well. Like if you can wait a bit of time to make a ton of money, like that's where most people just end up quitting because they're not making money fast enough for whatever reason.
Every like week, I'm just putting, you know, certain money on certain cryptos, certain projects, and then just, you know, just letting it sit. I mean, this year, supposedly, historically, there's going to be like a big, like it's going to be like a bull year. Yeah,
it's the Bitcoin halvings in April, isn't it? So everyone's assuming, and ETFs just got approved as well. Bitcoin ETFs just got approved.
Are you invested in it?
I got like 50% of my net worth in crypto.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's fucked. I'm a degenerate piece of shit. Jorge. Oh, fuck. There was one year where I made a ton of money in crypto and I lost every fucking penny of it because it was like my first cycle. And so like I just held the bag because I got way too greedy. And I was like, nah, as long as I keep holding, you never lose. Mm-hmm. You definitely can lose if you just hold. Because a lot of the projects I had a ton of money in went to zero. And I lost like, I had like, at this peak, I've literally got the wallet still. I was looking at the wallet the other day because if you go to like the like Etherscan, you can see like the peak of the wallet, like how much you're adding in and like where it was. And at the peak of the wallet, there was like 760K in there.
Damn.
And it went down to 20K.
You should, I follow this guy on exit strategy and how to take profits during like the bull run and everything, so I do recommend.
Yeah, I think this cycle I've learned, like I think I learned the hard way. And I think it's a good way to learn because like you're not going to make the mistake again because you lost a ton of money. But now I'm also at the other mindset of like, because I lost so much money, I'm also now scared to buy. Like it's difficult for me to buy because I'm just got PTSD. But I'm mainly in the more risky stuff. Like I'm heavy into like gaming crypto. So like I don't really like look. I like, to be honest, I want the big gains. Like I said, I'm a degenerate. Like I want like the 30x's, the 50x's, the 100x's. So like I'm in like the low cap altcoins of like gaming crypto. And the reason Gala game, even smaller than Gala games, to be honest. But mainly because it's easier to predict the movement of them. So, for example, like when Bitcoin moves, and let's just say Bitcoin pumps, obviously crypto kind of flows, right? So like once everyone makes their money in Bitcoin, they go out to Bitcoin and put their money into ETH. And then once ETH pumps, they put their money into the top 10 alts below it, Solana, blah, blah, blah. Once they make all their profits there, it just trickles down, right? And so like gaming crypto is like that fourth trickle down. So as long as Bitcoin pumps, that's when you can be like, right, let me buy some gaming crypto because it's likely that's going to pump next. But then maybe if Bitcoin dumps and ETH doesn't pump, then you can get out of the gaming crypto positions before you lose your fucking hat. But if Bitcoin pumps, ETH pumps, it flows into Solana, we're having alt season, all the alts pump, and you're positioned in gaming crypto, that's when you make like the big 30, 40, 50 X's. Like that's how I literally turned like 20 grand into like 70K, and then it went back down to 20 grand because I never sold any of it, which was stupid. But yeah.
I mean, the same thing happened to this guy that I told you, YT Crypto. He his first ever bull run, he had like massive profits, but then like he didn't take any profits. You know? So now it's just like he's very big into like taking profits 100%. On the way up.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
No one's gonna know what's gonna be the all-time high.
No,
you know, like
no.
What's gonna be the higher high.
Yep.
So it's just better to take profits. You know, on the way up.
Really good for me. Everything else, I'm still down horrendous on because I bought it like last fucking peak of the bull run. But here's what it is. Yeah, I've got to jump on a call with these setters.
For sure, dude.
But I'll drop you a message after, and like if there's anything else we need to go over, like we can just I'll just WhatsApp you or wherever.
All right, sounds good.
Appreciate it, brother. Have a good day.
You too.
So now I got another call with my content strategist. Just had a call with my setters. I didn't record it because my phone was dying. And so if I recorded that, I wouldn't have been able to record this. And also I'm training people. So I mean, it's like some of it is a bit confidential. So probably not the most valuable call anyway. And I thought, right, my phone's going to die, so I either record this call and don't record the next one, or I record this one and don't record the last one. So I thought this call was better because it's like content strategy. So that's what we're doing. We're going to record this call instead with Casper and just come up with a plan. Oh, your bass is quite good, mate. Fuck. Yo! Casper.
What's up?
How are we, brother?
All good, all good.
Nice to see you. What's the time there?
18 minutes past 1.
Damn, okay. Bro, I'm liking the beard, bro. I'm trying to grow my beard myself. Yours looks better than mine. Fuck. Now I'm depressed.
Like almost a year ago, I made a fucking mistake. I like shaved all down. Like, I was like so unhappy for like 2-3 months.
Damn. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, if I shave my beard, I look like a child. Like a legit child. It's fucked. It's so fucking crazy. Yeah, finding like people that can clip, like, so for example, right, I've got this like sheet written down, and realistically, like, I think quality is going to be one of the most important things, but I also think it needs to be a mix. Like when quality meets quantity, that's going to be the best, right? So there's no point in focusing on just quantity. There's no point in focusing on just quality. So like, for me, I think realistically, we'd need to find a way to get like a minimum of like, it sounds like a lot, but like 20 clips a day from the long form stuff. So like, obviously there's a ton of long form stuff on my channel. So like 20 clips a day of long form. And I'm gonna see if how many people do you think it would take to do 20 clips of long form a day?
I don't know, maybe 3.
3 people? Okay. Yeah, I thought 2 to 3 as well.
And
then I was gonna say mixing that, and that's across TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. And then I was gonna mix that in with like 3 to 5 like quality reels where like I've actually recorded a short. Like I've actually sat down and recorded or stood up and recorded a legit short. Like what we've been doing. like 3 to 5 of those, but like actual quality reels. But also where I was thinking, I don't know if you've seen the YouTube thing I sent you, the YouTube video, like where they talk, I think it could be quite good for the videos, and I think it could also be quite good for shorts, but like when like looking through the long form videos, going through them and like clipping them to like a highlight reel, like Diary of a CEO, if that makes sense. Like for example, like you find the best clips out of that like 60-minute video and you put them as like a highlight reel to like pique curiosity. I think they would do better as like shorts to promote the long, rather than the stuff we're doing right now, which is like day 15 out of 16, because it builds more intrigue. Like, yeah, those videos could do well, but like if you're actually like promoting the video from having clips of the actual video itself, I think people are like what Diary of a CEO does, right? Not only can you use it for the start of the actual YouTube video, which will make the YouTube video do better, because people then know like what's involved. So like the reason I did a little test like today, and like I put in my Telegram like the link to my YouTube video, and I put like this is what's in the video. So I put like in today's video, like we cover there's an 8-figure mastermind, there's this, there's that. And like I think it like people are way more willing to like click on it because they know where it's about. But even more powerful than words is like if in the video shows the highlights of the video. Maybe it's like a really insightful clip where I go to say something like really profound, but it cuts off. Like it's a really build up of like music where it's like you know, like the riser, and then it cuts off just before I go to say the thing that everyone's like, what was the answer? What are you going to say? And then it's like, you know, 4 or 5 clips, exactly like the Diary of a CEO. And then that way it just creates more intrigue for people if they see it to want to go and actually watch the full video, if that makes sense.
Yeah, completely, yeah.
So that's the main thing I think me and you should potentially be working on instead of like the day 13 scripts. I think that would be probably a better use of time.
In order to want sex, it needs to be worth wanting. So when women don't want sex, is it really that they have less desire, or is it that they don't have desire for the sex they have? And this fear of rejection is one of the most important emotional vulnerabilities for many men. It's part of what is so alluring in porn, which takes care of 3 major dilemmas around sex. The first one is, and this leads to lying and cheating.
I want to know how I avoid getting to that place.
People end up in a rut because...
See like how like when she said like this is the most important thing for sex, and then they cut it. And you're like, and then she says like, that's what's ruining relationships, but you didn't actually know like what it is. Now you're like, fuck, I need to watch the full video. And like, there's a couple channels that like replicate this.
At some point you have to give up on people.
But like, obviously you don't have to have the news articles of like, this is Dylan OFM, because obviously it's not that format. But it's just the point of like all the best interesting clips from that day. You like cut up, and they also use that as the hook for like every single video that they have. So like they use the exact same format for the hook.
I've read online podcasts. Wax Friedman.
Yeah.
He does very similar.
Yeah. There's a couple of people that do the same format, but like it's just a really like
a higher security building, and I didn't know what to do. That's when it got dark.
Casey Neistat,
The godfather of YouTube, the king of vlogging.
one of the celebrated.
it's just like super interesting how they do it, and I like how they use like the risers and stuff to like really like dramatize the opening. So yeah, what's your thoughts on like that side of things? I think that could do really well.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said before, this will probably be way better than we are doing right now.
Yeah.
More curiosity, and basically people already see what's in there.
Yeah, exactly. Because then if people are not interested, then cool, and they're not going to go and watch the podcast. But for the people that are interested, like especially like in my core audience might like not care right now, but if they see something interesting, like, oh, I need to go and watch it, I think it would just convert more people. And then also it kind of, we could potentially do it to where like, we could do it where it kills 2 birds with 1 stone, where like let's just say you edit the vertical video that way, we could then like also just put it into like horizontal, and then I could also just add it to the start of my YouTube video. So it's like if they watch the reel first, it delivers then on like the actual hook of the video, so they know it is that video, if that makes sense. Like it doubles down. And like also then the thumbnail can be a lot different, because then if the thumbnail's then good and it touches on one of the things that's in the hook of that video, like let's just say the hook is me saying like, this is like, if you don't drop out of uni, blah, 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 and it like cuts to something curious. If the video is titled, you need to drop out of university, and that's not only the reel, like the start of the reel, but also the hook for the YouTube video, everything is just going to perform way better. And it's like more coherent.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one thing. And then in terms of like that's like the quality based reels, but they would obviously be like almost daily. And then finding people to do, or do you think that software that you've got, what does it actually do?
Like they have a Discord, and they're pretty like active there, the admins and the owners of the software. So it seems like it's like a real deal, and I just want to see like how are the reels performing when they're being uploaded like through the software, not like originally from the phone.
Yeah.
So yeah, things like that I really want to understand, because one of the expenses will be like proxies and Instagram accounts. So check that out.
Yeah, that's easy. I can sort all that out.
They have like idea about content, like they don't need any experience like in editing or stuff like that. They just need to understand what is a good clip, you know.
Yeah. That's the most difficult part.
Yeah.
Because anyone can go and chop up random parts of a video, but if they don't know how to rearrange it, like, because for example, let's just say like I don't quite finish a sentence, or maybe like the part I said after this part, you could put at the front and make that as a hook. Like you have to understand how to do that, which is the most difficult thing, I think.
Also, in that YouTube video you just sent, not just like in the morning you sent me.
Yep.
The one of the guys said like editor is sending the video to the frame. That IO is like a very good tool.
Yep.
I am using it all the time.
Yep.
And basically we can easily use it as well with the cutters. So basically he cuts the videos in that frame, like end point, start point, and then I would just double check if it's all correct, and he can do the cutting afterwards.
Yeah, frame.io is sick. It's like a really good software. Yeah, I do like frame.io. But this is the other thing I was talking about. So like, I think we should also track everything, just because like you want to track to predict the future. So like, for example, what I'm going to do is I've got one of these long-term personal brand. Every video, I think we should probably have like 3 of these for different platforms. So like, obviously we're going to be posting the same content. Like if it's a short form piece, I'll post it on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. So like, I'll probably have 3 of these, like IG tracking worksheet, TikTok, Instagram. And then if you have any accounts you're running, I could just send you this and you could make a copy and do the same thing. But what I'm thinking in terms of like, I think I'm going to have like, an IG one, 2 for IG, 2 for shorts, 2 for TikTok. And the reason I want 2 is because one of them is going to be like the quality based content that maybe like we actually come up with good ideas and film them, and it's actually like meant for shorts. And then the other tracking will just be like the clips, like the cut ups. And then we can like have both of them. Then we'll have a tracking worksheet for each one. And then we can like know, right, okay, this is when we posted it, this is how many views it has, this is how many likes it has, comments, saves. And then after 6 weeks, like, and even after each week, we can like organize it by views, and then we can be like, okay, so these style of videos are doing the best, so let's like double down on this, right? And I want to test verticals, and I also want to test verticals for YouTube as well. And so like, these are the verticals I'm going to test. This is OF verticals, but like, for example, what I'm thinking is OFM is obviously going to be one vertical, so like value around OFM. Obviously know that's going to work. Come up story, already know that's going to work. Then I'm debating testing a bunch of different ones. So like, for example, maybe just business general. So like just general business advice. Building an audience, I think, is going to be really good, just because like people like to understand like how to create content, because we both understand content, that even though we're not the most, like I'm not the most viral person yet, I think it's those types of videos can almost help you go viral just by talking about the subject of this is how to go viral. You need to create this type of hook and this blah, 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 blah. And so I think those types of videos could definitely be a category as well. And then I'm debating like doing like business general, building an audience, OFM, come up story, and potentially some stuff around health or scaling a coaching business as well. Because I think scaling the coaching business is also insightful. So I might just test different verticals, put them in you, and then create, like, my aim is then to create one piece of content, like quality piece of content around each vertical every single week. So if the vertical's OFM, then I want to be able to create at least one good, solid, quality piece of media around that a week. And then that means I'll have, like, let's just say we're testing 6 verticals or 7 verticals. I'll have a video going out every day to do with that vertical. And then at the end of 6 weeks, we'll be able to test which verticals are working, which ones are not. If I can do more, then great. But if not, that's at least the aim. And I'm also debating as well, I don't know your thoughts on this, but in my longer form YouTube videos, I'm debating having a segment where I like almost react to something that's like maybe controversial and then give my thoughts and opinions on it. So like maybe like I can get my audience to send me like clips and I can like look at like a clip that's maybe gone viral or controversial about like business or OnlyFans or something like that. And then I can like have that up on the screen, like the video I'm reacting to while I'm watching it, and then give like an insightful thought and my opinion on it after. And I'm thinking of putting that in as part of my YouTube video because I think that would work really well once it's clipped up for short form.
Yeah, also I think that would be a good, how do I say it, people would be intriguing, like to go and see that reaction every day if you are doing every day.
Exactly, that's,
because people like reactions, and maybe after, I don't know, a week or two, we can see in the charts that at that moment, at the end of the YouTube video, where's the reaction, it spikes, you know?
Yep. Yeah, and it just seems to do really well on shorts. Like for example, I'll send you a link to this one sec. Like Brad Lee does it a lot. I've noticed he does it. So if I can so obviously right now in my YouTube series, everyone knows like the coffee segment is where they're going to get some type of value. If I can then have like a segment after where I react to something, then they know, oh, coffee segment, I'm going to get something valuable. Then the next segment, he's going to react to something and that's going to be interesting. And then maybe something. So it's like a bit more structure around the video. So it's like more engaging, and then obviously then it's going to be easier to clip parts to make it more insightful. It's going to be better for short form content. And so like the example I just sent in the Zoom chat, like this guy does it, and he just like reacts to clips, like business type clips, and gives his advice from an authority perspective, and they always do like really, really well. Like they just always pop off. It's crazy.
About the verticals, I think you should include the health stuff because I personally think you are quite knowledgeable in that segment. Yep. So that would like be very, very good for shorts.
Yeah.
Because nowadays it's
I agree.
Like people are obsessed about health.
Yeah.
And not many people know some stuff, so yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so that's probably the verticals I'm going to be testing. For like shorts, do you think it's worth testing variables like hashtags, no hashtags, original sound, existing sound?
I think now for the shorts, like shorts are like so hard. Like big YouTubers, like they put a short and it flops after 4K views, and that's like a standard one.
Yeah, facts.
Like in that video you today sent me, they told about the storytelling. That's the most important.
Yeah.
I think for shorts we can like maybe do dedicated videos dedicated shorts, maybe, I don't know,
Yeah,
3 times
potentially.
a week or
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
I agree. Like maybe even like 1 or 2 a week and just go for really like good quality storytelling.
Yeah.
Because like that's one of the things in that video that I sent you as well. Like they say that, like, let's just say you're just creating general shorts. Like Instagram and TikTok is more like value-based stuff. Like if you give value and provide insights, it tends to do better. Whereas shorts is more storytelling. And they said like it's almost as if shorts know if that video is specifically made for shorts or not. And if it's not, it doesn't really get pushed. And so like if you're creating specific pieces of content for shorts in particular, then it's probably going to do better than just posting backups. Whereas like Instagram and TikTok are kind of similar, so you can just do the same piece of content. Like wherever you post on Instagram, just post on TikTok as a backup, just because why not?
Yeah. Also about Instagram, I really want to see how quality content will perform on a brand new account, because
facts.
I know one guy that does like Instagram scaling. He has a big YouTube channel. And he says that that's the first thing to test. If you're putting out quality content and you don't grow, then the first thing to test is like creating a new Instagram account.
I've seen actually a lot of like new Instagram accounts just blow up fast just because they started creating quality from the get-go. Like literally like first couple of reels, because it's a quality piece of content, just does that. Even Christopher Claflin said he said he was going to try and get me on a call with like his friend who's like an IG expert, and he said like Instagram has massively changed to where it's actually really good for the people that understand how to create content now, because he said whereas before Instagram was very based on like your following and all this kind of things, he said if you literally just actually create really good content now and you understand retention and all these things, Instagram is going to push you and you're going to grow. So you actually do get a massive benefit if you understand how to create content. And like, it's no longer you need to collab with other people. It's no longer you need a big following already. Like you can literally be a nobody and within 6 months have 100,000 followers just because you're creating good content.
I've seen people like blow up in like a month or two. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. We've even had like OnlyFans girls go from like 0 to 100K in like 2 months. It's
crazy. This guy is like the one I was talking about. Like he's a genius about Instagram. Worth checking his videos.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
Always keeps up to date with all the updates and what's changing, what's not.
Yeah. OFM, building an audience, short form clips. That technically be a vertical, right? Like clips from the YouTube. From YouTube, business general, health, reactions. That would also technically be short form clips, but we'll do it as its own category. Building an audience, OFM, business general. I think they should be solid. I could do scaling a coaching business, but I don't know if it's coaching biz. I'll put a question mark there. He's like, yeah, I took your advice and went viral on TikTok. I was like, what the fuck? Why can't I go viral on TikTok? I think my account's just suppressed on TikTok because I talk so much about OnlyFans. Christopher Claflin said that. He was like, your account's probably fucked, I'll be honest. He said he thinks TikTok has like a credit score, and if you've like broke violations and talked about shit they don't like, a lot of times it's just like you just get fucked.
Yeah, might be.
Right. So I will track these. I'll share them with you anyway, just so we can like have a look at the data.
Okay. How's your sweep going?
It's non-existent, I'll be honest. What about you, bro? You get worse sleep than me, I swear.
Well, yesterday I slept quite well. It was about 10 hours.
Oh, right, not bad.
But yeah, the day before it was like literally, like when I went to sleep it was 5. I had to wake up at 8:30.
Painful.
But I couldn't sleep like for an hour or two. Like I always like when I go to sleep, it's like two minutes and I'm done.
Same.
Like I'm sleeping, but at that day I just couldn't.
I swear, this is where I've noticed, right? Whenever I don't have to wake up at any particular time and I go to bed, I sleep like that. But no, as soon as I know, like, I've got to be up in like 5 hours for something, I can't sleep. Because it's just on my mind. Like, let's just say it takes me, like, usually it takes 2 minutes to go to sleep. But then all of a sudden, like, I know, oh, fuck, I got to be up at like 9 a.m. And then I go to bed late. I'm like, fuck, it's 4:30. And then I'm in my own head. I'm like, now it's 5. Oh my God, now I'm only going to get 2 hours sleep. Now it's 6. Now I'm only going to get an hour sleep. Oh, shit. And then all of a sudden, I just completely fuck it. And then it's like, it's always when you got to get up for something. Always.
Yeah.
They should all be shady, you know. You can just, if you want to like do any of your own tracking on like the accounts you make, I would, or you, if you want to make your own sheet. So if you got a better way to track, then by all means feel free. But this is where I've been. This is like the format we use for all our models and stuff as well, and it just like works quite well. Is there anything else I can do to like make your life easier, make your job easier?
I don't know. I will probably write you when maybe I'm stuck at something, but other than that, I think I can on my own.
Yeah, sick. Oh, there he is, Stephen.
Here he is. Looking like a fucking absolute bin, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, Steve, I was just speaking to Casper, and obviously, I just wanted to get you a quick insight. You can go and run away and do whatever you need to do, whether it's have a stroke or an heart attack. I'll be there to support you. But this, obviously, right, I'm talking about, like, tracking, obviously, like, the content that I'm going to be doing, right? So, like, these are obviously the verticals that I'm going to be weaving in and testing and all this kind of stuff. But with your bot, or you could probably make a bot, is there a way to get a sheet like this that would just like auto, like let's just say every time I upload, it goes and pulls the data and puts it in a nice little sheet like this, but has more data than just date, views, likes, comments, saves, shares, like maybe retention, like any of that shit. Is that possible to create?
No. So we want this, but we can't have it because the API doesn't store that data. Basically, the API doesn't have that. It could be done, right? It could be done theoretically if you were to build like a custom bot that logs into the account and reads the data, like eyeballs the data directly.
Yeah.
So you could build it in like Python or some other language, Angular, whatever. But it's way beyond API capabilities.
Right.
And the bot that we're running is pure API and statistics. So, for example, right, the bot that we're running, it predicts the trend based on what we call a views per capita statistic that we've designed. Views per capita is how many followers you have.
Right. So it's not really like a good tracking bot in terms of like tracking your own content of what's performing and what could be improved.
Yeah, so we can track verticals and stuff with it by using specific hashtags, which is what we do now.
Yeah.
So like for each vertical, we have them put a specific hashtag in, and then we track that hashtag.
Yeah.
But that's how we do it currently. We can't track the stuff that really matters for us, retention, etc. We cannot currently track it. There's no way to do it other than iWallet.
Okay, makes sense. So it just have to be done manually then. That's fine. You can still track it. It's just manual.
Yeah, you just have to log in and just do it and snapshot it in time. Obviously, one of the issues, because I was thinking about this before, one of the issues is decay. Like, because as the content gets older, stats like retention will decay. So what you want to be doing is tracking it from a purely statistical perspective. You want to track it at fixed time points. So like, you want to track it 4 hours after you upload it, 8 hours after you upload it, 12 hours, 24, and then maybe like 48. And then
well, realistically, like the retention wouldn't really matter because like if it's a video that gets good retention, like eventually it's going to plateau anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Like, and the retention's not going to drop. Like if it's a good video, the retention won't drop over time. Like if it's a good video with good retention, like as soon as it's out the algorithm, nothing will happen to it. Like it won't drop. Like if you've got a video on 84% retention and then it's a year old, it's still going to be on 84% retention a year later.
I think we were talking about the other day, is the statistical probability that somebody sees it twice and skips it the second time? So 84%.
But that's not how retention works. So like, if someone, let's just say a short, right? On shorts, you can get 150% retention. If someone watches it twice, it classes as 200%.
Yep.
So if someone watches it once and then they skip the second time, it could still be like 110% retention for that particular person. And so like, you can literally get 100% retention on a YouTube short if you've had like 50 people that watch it twice and 50 people that watch it like halfway through, you get 100% retention.
We were talking about how IG though, like if I see your video once, right, and I watch it all the way, you've got 100% retention on that view.
Yep.
But if then it pops up in my feed later, and I don't watch it because I've already seen it, so I watch the first second of it.
Yeah.
You've got like 5% retention, and I don't know how.
It would add it up. So like overall, you've had 105% retention on that video.
That's fine. I wasn't sure if that was the case.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't affect it. It doesn't affect it. It's not gonna like drop by 95%. If that account has viewed it for a second time, then if you've watched it, like let's just say you viewed it the first time, you watched it all the way through. The second time, maybe you only watched it halfway through or 10% the way through. It adds up to the total.
Right. No, that's good. That's ideal then. We were talking about it before because me and John were saying like when we measure this stuff, like we know from the discussion we had before about YouTube, but we were like, is IG the same or is it taking an average of the two?
No. They all work. All the platforms now are all the same in the sense of like, back in the day, it was heavily based on following and all these things. Now it's just based on good content. Like they're looking at retention and some other stuff. Like they're looking at like a bunch of other stuff, obviously. But like the main one, like being retention. As long as it's a good piece of content, it'll get pushed.
Retention and engagement. They still care about engagement to a degree, but not as much.
Comments and shares can make quite a decent difference.
Comments and so we done a weighting the other day. A comment is worth 2 likes basically, and a share is worth two likes as well, but not 2 comments. They're roughly worth the same. But like a like is worth half as much as a comment effectively in terms of velocity performance when we were measuring it the other day. Because there's a direct correlation between the views per hour and the comments/shares and likes as separate counts. So when we're building this thing out for the IC, we definitely have correlation in the numbers between shares and comments being more worthwhile than likes.
Yeah, I agree.
The data supports it.
I would agree.
Yeah, the data across 1,000 items supports it every single time.
Yeah.
And that last pool that we tested.
Yeah.
What about save thing?
I've not measured, but it's the next thing that we're testing. So because we're testing everything in isolation to make sure this bot works. I would imagine that saves do count towards your engagement rate, but I will confirm that in the morning. We're going to test another 1,000 pieces of content to see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah. I think retention still is 100% the most important factor for sure.
Definitely.
Like massively.
It definitely is.
And then for YouTube, it's different. Like retention's like 20% of it, but then the thumbnail title and the actual idea is like the other 80%. Like that hook, like YouTube's slightly different, but shorts, retention's heavy on shorts as well. But there's a bunch of other little things they track on shorts. Like YouTube's really good for analytics. Like if Instagram and TikTok provided the same analytics as YouTube, it would be so sick because YouTube literally say like, this is everything you're doing wrong. This is what you should improve on. And it just gives you like fucking everything. Like, I don't even think Instagram gives you like watch time, click-through rate, AVD, like average view duration, like so many fucking spikes of when people watch, like, or when the most people watch, like how many times it was shown in the feed, like how many followers you gained from it, how many chose to view it, how many swiped away, like YouTube is sick. Like YouTube just gives you so much really, really good data. And if the other platforms gave you stuff like that, like click-through rate and AVD, it would be sick. It would be so fucking sick. Unique viewers.
It's definitely a better platform for analytics. And you could tell that it isn't relying on the data suite for the other platforms, because it has its own data suite. It's a completely different platform entirely.
Yeah.
It's driven by Google rather than driven by Meta. That's the main difference. The main difference is that YouTube is owned by Google, and that's why it's better.
Yeah, exactly. They have more data than anyone on the planet.
Yeah. Their analytics suite is fucking incredible, and the metadata suite is not the same. It's just trash, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like TikTok has weaker analytics again, but we don't talk about TikTok. Fuck TikTok.
Yeah, something I realized with shorts is whenever I make a call to action, so like for example, let's just say the video is doing really well. So like I had a short that is the one that you came up with, Casper, where it was like someone tried to rob me. That had 86% retention. Which is really good. But as soon as I made the call to action of go to my YouTube video, everyone stops watching. And so like I think it's better to almost soft sell, where like I said, we do that thing where you create curiosity. There's no thing saying go and watch the thing, it's just linked. And so people click it by themselves, because every video that I've created where it's like go watch the full YouTube video, on YouTube you can literally see the retention graph. As soon as that point, everyone drops off. And it's like interesting because with shorts, like even the shorts video I sent you where Jenny explains everything, like she said, to have a good short do viral, like you need like 98% retention. So like even 86% retention only got 3,000 views. So that just shows me that like YouTube really want like 90 to or 100% retention. And with call to actions, I don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
Unless the call to action is to watch the whole video.
Which it was in everyone.
Well, it's just like a hook, so like, you won't believe what happens at the end. And then you loop it so that it never happens.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's going to be shit like that. Shorts is storytelling. Like, it's just going to be better. That's what that hook did better on Shorts than all the others. Someone tried to rob me. It's a way more YouTube short-centric, like, storytelling part.
Yeah, you see that shit all the time.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
In the car, like, almost like fucking, like, what's that, road trip karaoke that fucking James Corden does?
Yeah, carpool karaoke.
Carpool karaoke. It was like carpool karaoke where I was doing a podcast from the car and I was driving them to your house, right? Mm-hmm. So I drove the guest, this fucking random person, I don't know who it was, drove the guest to the house after interviewing them for like 15 minutes, right, in the car, and we were just chatting shit. And then they came to the house and I wasn't part of the next part, I wasn't there. And they came into your kitchen and you'd done the start of your YouTube video, but it was the podcast. You were interviewing them, right? And you were making them like an evening coffee, right?
Yeah.
And then we all came through to the living room. You brought them through and I was there, and Adam and Snow and Shep were there as well. We were playing Mario Kart, and that was the last part of the podcast, right? We played Mario Kart with them. So like, it was like they were the fourth player on the Mario Kart piece. And basically we'd done a podcast where we played a full what's it called? Like a full cup, basically. We'd done a full cup, and that was the final part of the podcast. And we interviewed them whilst playing Mario Kart. And then we closed out just as a bit of a casual piece.
That would be so hard to do, I can't lie. No, like, I'm locked in when I play Mario Kart, it's serious. I'm not asking questions. I'm focused on winning. Yeah. Like, if you try and speak to me while I'm playing Mario Kart, the entire podcast would just fuck off, I'm racing, stop speaking to me.
The only question I'm asking in Mario Kart is do you want this blue shell up your ass? That's the only question I'm asking, man. So, but like, I think that there's, I don't know, I liked, when I sort of reflected back on my thoughts about it, right, I liked the thought, because, so when I was talking to Casper last night again, we were talking about how, so I filmed my first YouTube video today, mate, and Casper's going to probably tell you it's really bad. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about client acquisition, and I'm going to talk about, like, how do you, so you've got a tangible skill, what the fuck do you do with it, right?
No, but the thing is, that's what a podcast in action is, like, robbing, like, no, if you look at it, right, if you look at Mr. Beast's biggest videos, I was watching a video on it the other day, a lot of the big YouTubers actually just take TV formats. No, like, shows that did really well on the TV. They just take them and put them on YouTube and put their own twist on it. It's like, And it's the same with like, even with like shows like James Corden and stuff, like those segments, they test so many segments like verticals. Like there's so many segments that James Corden has that hasn't stuck with his audience and done well. But then through that, he's found segments like Carpool Karaoke that's blown up. So like it's just re-engineering stuff that works on actual TV. Like game shows that have done well, or documentary style, or Top Gear, the format of Top Gear, how do you apply that to an in-action podcast? Like that type of stuff is like, Mr. Beast has done it with tons of different things, movies, Squid Game, like, it's just, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
An in-action podcast as well, there's not many of them. And also, if you look at the statistics of podcasts, you'd think they'd be saturated by now, but if you actually look at the like up-to-date data, there's like 2 million podcasts, 50% of them never get past their first episode, and then the other like, I think it's the other 49% never get past 5 episodes or something. So there's only like actually like a handful, not a handful, but there's only like a few thousand podcasts that are actually in that like top 1%, and they're all sit-down podcasts. So like we would be in the very top 1% by doing a really good in-action podcast. And in-action podcasts are also going to be way better for clips because it's going to be better for attention. There's more stuff going on.
Shit going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like that randomness, like, so for example, when you're filming your YouTube videos, you've got an element of that, like, so fucking Adam just walks by in the background.
Yeah, so like this, I'm gonna have this in the background all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like a little fucking retention hack.
Yeah. There was a funny clip as well the other day where Adam was trying to make a loom for someone and you're playing Clash of Clans in the background and he starts fucking pissing himself laughing. It's stuff like that though that makes it magical. Like it's not actually the content of the podcast. It is of importance, but it's not the most important thing. It's the chaos basically, because I think people love. I've got a creator right now and she's fucking popping off, right? Like she's doing like fucking $1,500 a month, and she's doing like 20 grand. She's doing 20 grand this month. So far already, she's on the road to 40 quite comfortably, and the whole brand is just chaos. Nothing is scripted or planned.
Yeah.
Everything she does is chaotic as fuck.
Yep.
But it just works for her. It's just her personality, right?
Yep.
And we've tapped so hard into it. She's doing these fucking reels now, and it's just about her life. And like, she isn't using trending sounds. She isn't following the format that you do in order to get fucking big on reels or whatever. Like, she's not following any of the fucking rules. She's just making videos and talking over the top of them about her day. And it's not even the stuff that's in the video. It's just the things she says. One of the fucking reels that she made the other day, yesterday, it was, "Good morning and welcome to," I don't know, whatever the fuck this is. That was the opening to the video, right? And everybody commented about it. Like, that's the best thing I've ever heard. This is so good. This is awesome. Blah, 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 blah. Tons of engagement because she doesn't even know what she's doing. Yeah,
it's like going against the grain. Those are that's the thing though, with those creators, that's very rare, and that's because of their person. It's like Mr. Beast explains it. He says like, you will have those rare scenarios where people can not worry about hooks, not worry about anything, but because they've got such a real, like, raw, authentic personality that's just different, like the Emma Chamberlains of the world, the Casey Neistats, like those types of people, because they can just literally put a Sam Sulek, because they can just literally turn on a camera, for some, like, that's rare. So, like, he says, like, I would advise you not to do that because it could never work, but if you know, it does work for those odd rare scenarios. It's just like, he explains it like, it's just the same as when you have a fucking guy that's 7'1" and naturally athletic in the NBA. Like, it's just one of those rare scenarios.
Yeah, he's just, they're just that some of these creators, like I found this creator that she's just magnetic and everything around her is made of metal. Basically, like, she's absolutely magnetic, mate, and it's phenomenal. Like, but all she needed to do was be directed a little bit. We were like, just make a couple of videos about your life so I can see what it's like. Yeah. That's what we asked her to do. And we're like, fucking publish those immediately. I want you to talk over the top and describe what you're doing, but basically just publish those immediately. And they are going, like, she's 9x'd, like, on IG already. It's like got 20k followers in a week. It's fucking beautiful.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry. Fucking, right, yeah. So I think what I'll do is I'll try and come up with some ideas for stuff we can do in motion.
Any thoughts, any questions, comments from anyone? Casper needs sleep, I can tell, but...
No, I'm good.
He's weakened by the day.
It's my prime time now.
Do you like, Casper, do you feel like more creative in the night?
Yeah.
Same, man. I thought I was the only person. I always feel like more focused and creative in the night.
Yeah.
Always.
Same.
Definitely.
Like, no, if I'm doing like any creative type work, like video editing, anything like that, always better in the night. Always.
Yeah, same.
I think it's because the rest of the world's sleeping and like nothing's going on, and it's just like pure clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, like clients on.
Nothing.
Exactly. It's always for me, right? Either first thing in the morning, like very early, like if I have my sleeping pattern where I'm waking up at like 5 a.m., that 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. is like perfect. But if I don't get anything done in that 5 to 7 a.m., I'm fucked. Because then I don't stay up late then because I'm tired by the time it gets late. So like for me, like when I work the best, it's like anytime after like 11 p.m. Like from 11 p.m. to like 4 a.m. I work really well.
Yeah. Same, like there's no clients on the phone. I don't have any kids.
Exactly.
Like, I don't have to go anywhere or do anything. The problem is
no one's awake to distract you. It's just
you can just do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
But like I need to shoot all my shit during the daytime to make it realistic. So I'm fucked.
Yeah.
See, actually, the other question for you, mate, I'm going to go out and shoot a bunch of images for thumbnails tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I need to include the car specifically. I need to include the car for these thumbnails. Casper's asked me to go and photograph the car properly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it pending the sun comes out tomorrow. I'm going to shoot a bunch of photos of the car for the thumbnails. Could you send me whatever tools you use to actually make thumbnails?
I literally just use Canva.
You dirty bastards, right? Cool.
I'm just really good at Canva. Like I don't have a clue how to use Photoshop, so it's just like Canva's easier for me.
Like I wish I could be as present as Grant Cardone is.
Yeah, he's like the first person to ever be omnipresent, but not organically, just paid. Like he just used to throw tons of money at just being everywhere. Like you just see him everywhere.
Yeah. Like, I'm convinced, like, my kid's seen one of his ads. I'm convinced.
If you ever opt in, if you ever follow him, anything, you ever interact once with Grant Cardone, your life is over. He now owns you. You're going to see him everywhere.
Mate, I accidentally clicked on one of his free webinars. Like, and because I have Google Forms on, like, it just entered my email address when I was clicking through shit. And I accidentally fucking got onto his webinar, right? It's just like, it's not a webinar. It's just me getting my email inbox raped, and I've had to set up a filter because I can't unsubscribe from them, because even if you press the button it still emails you. So I've had to set up a filter in my inbox to collect Grant Cardone emails.
Bro, that's literally the reason I moved house. But I had sales guys showing up at my door in my old place. I subscribed to Grant Cardone's email letter. I had to change my social security number, I had to change my name, change my birth. Like I literally had to move country. I thought about transitioning for a while. Like I thought about becoming a girl because I was just getting bombarded with him like everywhere. So I was like, fuck.
So this shit is like a really nice idea for a fucking reel. Just the way you just explained.
About Grant Cardone.
Just attack Grant Cardone in a reel. Let's fucking do it.
The reason I moved house.
I had to move house and abandon my family. Like, I had to leave my family behind.
Paul, you signed up to Grant Cardone's email list, and it's like you packing your bags and moving out, and some sales guy following you in the car.
You could do it where, like, you get a couple of people to dress up in suits with briefcases, and you're running away with the camera looking behind you, and they're chasing you. Like,
yeah, it starts off like the start of the scene is like you signing up, and it's like really dramatic. You sign up, you get one email from Grant Cardone, and it's like bing, and an email pops up. And then you're like, you click on it, and then all of a sudden, bing, 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 tons of emails. You like shut your laptop. You're like, what the fuck? And then your phone rings, and it's the sales guy on the phone. You're like, what the fuck? And then if someone knocks your door, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And you're like, never sign up to anything to do with Grant Cardone. It just ends there. That'd be funny as fuck.
Then he sues you into the fucking ground.
No, I've seen everyone that like makes fun of Grant Cardone. He comments on all their posts like, this was funny, haha.
Yeah, mate, that's what you need. Like, you need Grant Cardone to...
That's actually a good content idea, I can't lie. But it could be more general. Like, it could be like when you sign up to an email, when you sign up to a marketer's list. Like when you sign up to a marketer's webinar or something or forever, and you just get fucked. Because it's really relatable.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens, man. Like, Man Box is fucking ravaged by it.
And you could have Grant Cardone in the clip, like you don't exactly have to say it's Grant Cardone.
Yeah. I wonder if we could get, like, paper masks made. You know those ones?
When you sign up to a guru's email list or some shit like that.
Oh my god, mate, I've got it. Right, I've got it. You know that trend that OF girls do? And it's that, don't mind me, what is it? Don't mind me, I'm just watching. Mm-hmm. Right? You do a trend similar to that, but like, so you get like a picture of Grant Cardone's face, right? And you print it out and you make a mask, right? And then you get Adam, right? To do shit like, I've signed up to like fucking Grant Cardone's email address, and then like it's Grant Cardone's head, he just appears at the window and shit, like he pops up in your face, right? And then he's chasing you through the house and shit. He chases you in the car, he chases you down the lane outside, like you're trying to get away from Grant Cardone, and he's just fucking coming at you all the time.
Like Slender Man.
Like Slender Man.
Just...
You end the day where you finally think you've lost him. You go to bed, you lie down in bed, and he's just stood over you with a fucking, like, with a contract.
Oh, imagine emptying the fridge. Empty the fridge, and Dylan goes and grabs a bottle of water and just fucking...
Nah.
I'm just in the fridge.
The funniest thing would be when you lie in bed and you're like, you're done, and then you roll over and he's laid in bed next to you.
Yeah. Like it's just Adam lying there with a mask on with a contract in his hand.
I got a fish.
Buy until you die, like. That's good. That is funny, but...
Oh, man.
One email. I'm actually writing this down. It's actually a good content. Starts one email, then gets bombarded with emails. Fuck, this should be like a mini movie. Casper, what's your format for like coming up with scripts? Because you're quite good at scripts. Like, do you use anything to help you? Because I used to use ChatGPT a bit. You just come up with them off top.
Yeah.
Fuck. He's good at this. Yeah, man, is it?
You got fucking loads. Look at this crap. Look at this.
Oh, cats. I'm not a fan of cats. I can't lie.
It's my wife's cat. Look at this motherfucker. Look.
Bro, they just attack you for no reason. Like, you could be doing nothing and they just decide to take their anger out on you. I think cats have experienced generational trauma. Like...
Yeah, they choose violence, mate.
Yeah, because you have to think, though, from their perspective, they've gone from being like a fucking lion to being this shitty little domestic house cat. So they're probably just depressed.
No, man, do you know what it is, right? I've actually watched a programme on this. I don't know why, but I have actually watched a documentary about this, right? They've gone from being worshipped as gods in Egypt to this, and that's what the problem is, because they still think they're gods. They still think they're G's, basically. Cats think they are better than you.
I agree.
See, like, so, fun fact, right? When a cat sees you, it doesn't see a person's face, it sees a cat face, right? It thinks you're a cat, and it thinks you're retarded. It thinks you're just a big, hairless, retarded...
What, so to a cat, I'm a retarded cat?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You can Google it, man. It's real. Like, when cats see you, it sees like a cat face.
Yeah, but how do they know that, though? Like, no one fully 100% knows if that's true.
No. Somebody done like a fucking brain scan, like to figure out what they see. I don't know how the fuck they done it. I watched this documentary, right, and the evidence was fucking in front of my eyes. Right, it was looking at a person, and they were able to use like some sort of fucking brain scan technology shit on this cat to figure out what it could see, and it can see a cat's face on your body, and basically they just think you're a big hairless retarded cat, and that's why they bring you shit like dead mice and shit, because they think they need to feed you, because you're a fucking retard. You gotta feed yourself. So
nah, this is fucking bullshit. I'm calling cap on this documentary, but.
That's why they just attack you, because they think they can just beat the shit out of you, because they're like, you're an idiot, I can do whatever I like. It's also why they knock stuff off tables and shit, to assert dominance over you, because like, you're my bitch, you're going to pick that up.
What is actually cat bite Steven, and he's like Spider-Man like turning into the cat right now.
Cat man, like. Steven just becomes a bigger pussy than what he already is.
Oh, wow, mate. That was uncalled for.
That's crazy. Casper just indirectly called you a pussy, man.
That was uncalled for. I don't know what to say. I don't know.
Stephen caught a stray for no reason.
Yep. I'm just a massive bitch now. Just gonna have to go and kill myself. Obviously.
Record it, but it's good for content. Viralize.
I'll viralise it, yeah. I'll fake my death, become viralised, and then use it to capitalise for business.
Just record everything.
I'm trying to. If my iPhone would stop being a fucking loser. Honestly, mate, Dylan, I'm having the worst time with this fucking iPhone. Like, I've got this iPhone 13 Pro for filming with. I literally cannot get fucking the material off the phone.
Why?
I've got a cable.
What are you trying to do with it? Because I film everything on iPhone. It's so much easier.
Yeah, mate, right, you're saying that, but, like, it won't sync to iCloud, right? I can't take anything off and put it on my fucking Google Drive. It's just constantly full, and no matter what I do, I cannot get the shit off this phone, no matter what I do.
I just literally I just got WeTransfer downloaded, and I literally just save it in CapCut and then just upload it to WeTransfer.
Right, and then delete it from the phone?
Yeah.
Right, fine. I'm going to attempt this now. Because I'm actually enraged.
Yeah, that's literally all I do.
By this phone.
Like, all these videos, I literally just fucking put them, like, I'll edit them myself because I know what happened throughout the day, so it's easier, and it's just cut. I'll just edit them, chuck them in CapCut, save them. Once they've downloaded, I'll put them in WeTransfer, and then they're done. Or I'll just upload them to YouTube directly from my phone, or I'll airdrop them to my MacBook and upload it from my MacBook.
But he needs to transfer, like, his old stuff. Like,
yeah, I think I need to empty the phone. It's like 125 gig of shit.
Yeah, just download WeTransfer. Just download WeTransfer and just mass drop it all.
Right, fine. I tried to put it on a fucking Google Drive.
Nah, Google Drive's fucked. It won't work on Google Drive on iPhone.
Yeah.
You gotta use WeTransfer. No, it will. It'll be fucked. I've done it. It doesn't work. It's fucked. It takes ages. What you'll probably find out, if you've done it to Google Drive, in like 4 days, the Google Drive will start actually downloading the shit.
Yeah, as I was saying to Cass earlier, like, I fucking went and checked the drive and it said it was uploading shit, but then when I went onto actual Google Drive on my PC, it wasn't.
Yeah, it'll be fucked for a couple of days because you did so much at once. You need to use WeTransfer and you can, like, mass add everything at once.
The thing I just put in chat, is that right?
Yeah. Download the WeTransfer app and sign in. You're going to have to purchase a pro account. It's like, I don't know, $9.99 a month or some shit.
Okay.
Pay for that to get 100 gig or 1,000 gig, wherever it is, and then upload everything. And then you can copy the link and send the link directly to Casper.
Right, that's what's going to happen with Casper.
Yeah, I use WeTransfer all the time. I send Casper everything in WeTransfer. It's just easier. Frame.io is good as well, though. Frame.io is actually really good. But WeTransfer is easy.
I'll put it on both devices. I'll put it on both phones, and then I can... Because I can still take photos on this phone. The photo taking quality on this phone is fucking outstanding. Why am I... Oh, sorry. The photo taking quality on this phone is outstanding, but the video quality on the iPhone is just much better, unfortunately. So, right, cool. I'll go and fix that now.